Ancient Evil, the most beloved map on Black Ops 4, and one of the most beloved maps of all time for all the fans of Call of Duty Zombies. What is up, my fire amigos? Welcome back to the channel. It is time for the main Easter egg guide of Ancient Evil. I love doing this main Easter egg because the steps are fantastic. There is one gripe I have about it, and we'll get there when it comes up. But as always, we're going to go ahead and start the class. Do you need the Hellion Salvo? Yes and no. So the steps in general, you will not need the Hellion Salvo whatsoever. The opposite hand of this is that the Hellion Salvo does come in clutch in the boss fight, but for a specific purpose. We'll get there when we get there. Let's go ahead and talk about the setup for the Easter egg. Perk-wise, just like Dead of the Night, there aren't too many important perks. There are going to be 2 that will be very helpful in this. 3, actually. Options are: Victorious Tortoise is a godsend. The shield is the most valuable shield in this game. Dying Wish, in particular, you want it in the modifier. That'll come in handy for one particular step. And then Time Slip, also in the modifier, will come in handy for a particular step. Otherwise, you can choose whatever you want. Perks I would recommend would be Quick Revive. Deadshot Dealer of all things, the verticality is heavy, so that would help out a lot for getting kills if you don't have one in the hands. Stamina. Winter's Wail is what I'll be running in this game. Death Perception is a weird one, but it will help out a lot. There have been times when I'm in a match and I'm just waiting on a zombie, so I usually use Death Perception to see where it's like glitched into a zombie barricade. It has happened a lot. So that's the reason I'm running Death Perception. Do not, and I mean do not, run Blood Wolf Bite. There's one particular step that'll be failed almost instantly if you have that running at the time. Let's go into the other half of the class. For the specialist weapon, only 2. Only 2. It can either be A, the Scepter of Ra, or B, the Hammer of Valhalla. I'd rather you guys use the Scepter of Ra. Yes, it's good in co-op, obviously, to revive players with perks, but with the uniqueness of how this specialist weapon works in this Easter egg in particular, you want to run this one over anything else. For the grenade and the starting weapon, same thing. The Wraith Fires and the Strife. You could use the SOG or the Mog 12 shotgun for better DPS and or point usage. It is completely up to you. Points are not going to be an issue here, though, so just stay with the Strife for the moment. And then talismans. Oh boy, we actually get to use talismans today. So the first one I would recommend is either going to be A, the one that gives you the increased shield durability. It's a blue one, I believe. Or B, the one that reduces the price of the shield. Both of those will be valuable because, like I said, the shield is very valuable in this Easter egg. As for the elixirs, there are a few commons that would be good. I don't think you necessarily need Temporal Gift in this one, but you can bring it just in case you want to. For sure, you want Equipment. That's going to be one you're going to want. And 2, you're going to want Arsenal Accelerator. If you do not bring in Time Slip in the modifier, Arsenal Accelerator will be just fine. Let's go on to the other elixirs that would be helpful. Licensed Contractor to spawn on the Carpenter. That would be nice. That's the only gray one that's going to be helpful in this. For the blues, you can bring in Fire Cells if you want to get the Hellion Salvo or any of the guns that would work for this. So I didn't mention it, but guns that would work for this would be the Hades Zweihander, AN-94, and Spitfire. But those weapons would be just fine if you don't grab the Hellion Salvo. Going back to the elixirs now, Fire Cells is one thing, but if you want to run something that's not a Fire Cell, Shields Up. Those would be definitely useful. Let's go on to the purples. This is the biggest one. You want Undead Man Walking. It is a co-op only strategy, but it works wonders for one of the steps. We'll get to that step later. If you don't want to bring that in because you don't have any, max ammos will be just fine. As for the orange elixirs, 1, Refreshment. Refreshment's going to be a godsend in this. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the steps. The first thing we need to do is get the Eternal Flame lit. To start this Eternal Flame shenanigans stuff, we need to get the Sun Artifact in the amphitheater, and then hold X in the pot right in front of the Oracle. These challenges are random every game which one you're going to get, but they exceed in size the more you open up the map. Let's say you have the entire top half opened up. You haven't opened a door. You're going to get like one of 6 challenges, okay? Let's say you open up the map towards the Zeus perk. You now have one of 9 challenges. See where I'm going here? The more you progress, the more challenges there are, and it gets hard to light this flame entirely. These can go from defending a location, taking damage and recovering health, do not take damage, use the shield, use the wonder weapon, getting kills in that set area. You know what I mean? There's so many. This is what can make or break a run. If it's something like take damage and recover health, do not take damage, or hold down an area, it'll be very hard to progress the challenges. But if you get something like get kills with a wonder weapon, specialist weapon, equipment, it'll be very fast. That's what makes this a make or break. For all these challenges, what are we supposed to get out of this? That will be the rewards. You want to make sure the Eternal Flame is lit by paying tribute and getting the highest challenge possible. A lot of guys said it has to be 2 epics, but we all as a community have narrowed it down to 1 epic and 1 legendary. That is the minimum requirement. You can get 2 epics if you want to. It's completely optional. Once the flame is lit, we now need to have our shield. For the shield, there are 3 total parts. The first one can be found from the Golden Bridle and Pegasus. The Golden Bridle can be found in 2 spots. One in the Chaos of Treasuries, the second one in the Still of the Athenians. You're going to see this bridle on an altar, and when you grab it, the Gigadees will spawn in to try to kill you. You need to kill it to get its shield part. For the second part, it's going to be the spear. This can be found, one spawn can be in the Still of the Athenians, right next to the Bark of Gold. For the second one, it's going to be right here, lodged into the brick wall, just beside the purple blossoms on the left. And for the last one, it's going to be on the right side, close to the Aghadia Mar. It's going to be lying against this concrete statue. Now we are going to need the shield sleeve. The shield sleeve can be found on the Upper Road Bridge. The first one's at the very bottom on the right side of the wall. The second one, you exit the bridge, and it's going to be on this rock here. As for the last shield piece, it's going to be way down at the bottom of the river here. Once we have all 3 parts, we can build the shield in the market. Now that we have our shield, before we start any steps, we need to get our wonder weapons. The wonder weapons of the map entitle half the Easter egg steps in this main Easter egg quest. There are a total of 4. I'm not going to go through all the hand locations now for where you can find one. If you want to know where they all are, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. For these hands, though, we need to upgrade 3 out of the 4 to the redeemed hand. These are the Hand of Charon, the Hand of Ouranos, and the Hand of Hemera. For the Hand of Gaia, you just need to put it in the altar, do the lockdown, and put it back. You don't need to upgrade it a second time. Unless you're in a game of 4 players. Then you would need to upgrade it a second time to the redeemed hand. If you want to know how to build the Hand of Gaia, I'll leave a link in the description to my Wonder Weapons guide on this map. Let's go ahead and talk about the Hand of Hemera. For the Hand of Hemera, you need to shoot 3 mirrors into place so they have a reflective side. Once the reflective side is showing, you need to shoot the Hand of Hemera into the 3 mirrors in order to reflect a bolt of light into a pot. The first one's going to be the Upper Road Bridge. The second one's going to be inside the temple, and the third one's just going to be outside the bathhouse. For the one in the bathhouse, you can shoot the mirror from the temple if you wanted to, so you can not have the hassle of trying to shoot it while zombies are down there. When the bolt of light is reflected into the pot, punch the pot with the Hand of Hemera and run it all the way back down to the shrine. Once you're at the shrine, punch the light into another pot in the shrine that looks similar to it. Once you have all 3, you can go into the lockdown, where you'll be challenged to upgrade or use Hemera's upgraded hand. It's a giant beam of light. Once it is all done, you'll be exited out by the game. You can put the hand down. You cannot pick up another hand when you have a hand within your hand. Say that 5 times fast. Anyway, for the Hand of Charon, once we are finished with the lockdown, we need to go into the River of Sorrows. We need to get a bunch of kills in the River of Sorrows using the hand. I don't know how many it is. I think it's like 10 to 15 until it's this bright red color. When you see this bright red color, make sure you are at full health in order to drink from the River of Sorrows. It will give you a prompt to do so. Alright, when you drink from the River of Sorrows, you will be in this vision. This vision is near death, if you will. Not like the elixir where like you go next to someone and you get the revive with perks. No, you're on the brink of death. If you get hit 4 times when in this vision, you will go down since you have no health regen. Your goal is to find 3 coins in a sea of like 13 to 14 coins. I think it's 13 coins that say Charon's Obol. If you see a false Obol, extinguish it and it will permanently go away until you find the 3 Charon Obols. If you do manage to go down, don't worry, you can drink from the river again, and then the Obols that were false would not be there, but the Obols that were true will stay there. Once you have all 3, take them to Charon's Shrine, and then you can start his lockdown. His charge shot is going to be a puddle of blood. Now, zombies are attracted to this puddle. It's a very small radius of effect, but it's definitely the strongest wonder weapon in the game. Or in the map, I should say. Now for the Hand of Ornos. Once you finish the lockdown, there are 3 tail feathers that need to have a zombie shot into them in order for them to shake off a small feather. The first one is in the center of the world to the left of Pack-a-Punch. The second one is near the forge behind the mystery box. And the third one is in Python Pass near the Hand of Charon Shrine. Depending on how far the feather is to the shrine is how many times you need to shoot this little tiny blue feather with the Hand of Ornos. For the center of the world, you need to shoot it 1 time with the Hand of Ornos when it pops out, and then for the one at the forge and the shrine, the feather needs to be shot 2 times to carry it over to the shrine. Once it's over there, you can then start the Hand of Ornos' quest. It is a wind tornado that blows all zombies away, but the more you use it, the more you run out of ammo. Keep that in mind. Now that we have our hands, let's go ahead and start with the steps. For the first step, we need to ignite 3 oil slicks with the Eternal Flame using our shield. So pull out our shield, melee the Eternal Flame with our spear, and run to these 3 locations to ignite an oil slick. The first one's in the Upper Road Bridge, to the right of the bridge on this rock here. This is a little hard to see. The second one's going to be in the Spartan Monument to the left of the General's Column. You guys see it right here on the wall. Go ahead and shield past that one. And the third one's in the Chaos of Treasuries. This one's on the far right side on the wall next to the picnic bench. This one is the most finicky out of all 3. There have been times when I stood here and meleeed it 10 times and it didn't ignite when it should have hit. Be very patient with this one. But once they're all 3, the ground will start to shake, and then you can start the steps. For the first step, we're going to go into the Spartan Monument. Now, when you're down here by yourself, you're going to hear this sound. When you hear that sound, it is the sound of screaming. This sound correlates to how the charge shot of the Hand of Charon reacts when you use it, because when you use the charge shot, you're going to hear this sound. For this step, you need to use the charge shot in the center of all 12 of these statues, and then look at the statues when standing in the puddle. You will be in gray vision, and one of these statues out of the 12 will have a set of blue eyes. You need to shoot this pair of blue eyes with the Hand of Charon, nothing else. When you shoot this, a ton of Spartoi will come in to symbolize that you did it right. You need to do this 4 times. Once you have shot the 4th one, the puddle of blood will go away and the screen that will start to shake. Now we can do the next step, which requires our shield. For this step, we need to lock 3 gears in place to make 3 statues start spinning. The first one is to the left of the Augur DMR. It's going to be right here behind the wall. For these walls, there will be a little glint of light glowing out of them, so that way you can just shoot the wall down with anything, the shield or your gun, and then it'll break away, revealing the gear. Now, for the one at the Still of the Athenians with the Augur DMR, or whatever this area is, this one takes the longest because it has to go on a odd square path. So if you need to put down a Hand of Charon charge shot to protect yourself, go ahead and do so. But the goal is to, when the gear aligns itself with the gear in the middle, throw the spear on it to lock it in place. This one takes a little bit of timing, so I'd say throw it a little bit early. And when you see the gears spin in place after a while, when the blue smoke goes away, you know you've done it right. For the second one, it's going to be rather close by. You're going to see this wall here behind this Chaos Crystal. And you can shoot, and this one will just go up and down. The timing is a little awkward here as well, but not as bad as the one next to the Augur. So when you throw that in, I would say right about here, when it's about to hit, like not when it's on it. Because if you throw it when it's on it, it will not work. And then the third one's going to be next to the General's Column on the left. Shoot down the wall. And this is the easiest because it's quite literally point blank. You honestly can't mess this up too bad. Just throw it a little early, and you should get it every time. Now, the hardest part about this is going to be the statues in the middle. What's going on here is that all 3 statues are spinning as circles, but there's a little crystal in the middle. Your goal is to throw the spear behind the crystal to the left of it when all 3 statues align their line of sight to the crystal. As a warning, this will take some practice. This one is the farthest away, so it's really hard to time this spear throw. Keep that in mind. The best way to look at it is to look at the one in front of you and look to it goes right about here. And when you throw the spear right about here, it should be aligned just enough for you to throw it, and then it'll hit the crystal when all 3 heads are looking at it. But when the screen starts shaking, we can move on to the next step. The next step is a branching path requiring 2 hands. The hand of Gaia is corresponding to the hand of the perk of Danu. The hand of Hemera is corresponding to the perk of Ra. We're going to start by starting the hand of Gaia's perk challenge first. For the hand of Gaia, you're going to notice this little tree sprout behind the zombie barricade here, or zombie area, if you will. And when you shoot it with the hand of Gaia, it will disappear. The goal is to shoot a total of 6 tree sprouts that spawn in around the Danu perk in order to spawn in a boss enemy. The best place to start this is on the stairs, then do a 45-degree turn to the perk machine, and wait till you see the green blinking lights. Those blinking lights are the 2 tree sprouts. What needs to happen now is you need to shoot 2 shots. The first one is always going to go straight for whatever reason, but the second one will always lock onto the tree sprouts. Same thing, go up to the pillar with the MX-9, then take a 45-degree angle towards the building. You're going to see the final 3 do the same thing. Shoot 1 shot in order to shoot straight, and then shoot another shot that shoot all 3. If done correctly, the Giganis will spawn in. Do not kill it. We need it for the start of Hemera's challenge. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk this Giganis all the way over to the Chaos of Treasuries. In the Chaos of Treasuries, you're going to notice Ra's Ankh stuck in the crystal. The only way to get it out is to use the Shield Blast from the Giganis. There is a big trick to this, and that involves the Scepter of Ra. What we need to do is lure to right about here. When it's right about here, pull your Scepter out, and then start using the Scepter of Ra's beam. When the beam connects with the Giganis, the first attack it's going to do is a guaranteed shield bash, as long as you're using the beam. So stand in front of the crystal, use the beam, and the shield blast just fine. Now we can kill the Giganis. When the Giganis is killed, he'll drop a spear. This spear will go right in front of the sundial that's right in front of the Danu perk. What we need now is zombie kills, specifically electric catalyst kills. The game is programmed to give you electric catalyst the moment this step starts, so don't worry about random catalysts spawning in. For this step, we need to have an electric catalyst be lured onto anywhere on the golden circle. As long as it's within the golden circle, you'll be just fine. So what's going to happen is as soon as you kill the electric catalyst on the circle, you're going to feel a little bit of shaking. It's the scepter turning a set of gears underneath to show a flashing symbol. The symbol will go all the way around the edge constantly until you hold X to stop it. Your goal is to look for this blue symbol here. Once you see the blue symbol, I would get the pace down of how fast the gears are spinning and count to the pace of the spin. So if it's like here and it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, count it like that. If it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, count it like that. Your goal is to hold X on the spear when the blue symbol that you're not going to see aligns with the yellow line that has formed on the golden circle here. So in this case, my first symbol spawned 4 spaces away from the line that's formed on the dial. So I had to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And the moment it hits 4, you need to hold X on the circle. Anywhere on the circle is fine as long as you hold X on the circle. If done correctly, you hear a little boom sound. I don't know how to describe that sound, but that's the sound. And then the symbol will appear on the line. If you don't do it correctly, your screen will flash white because the electricity is shocking you, and you have to get another electric catalyst to start again. You will need 3 total catalysts, 1 per time of the blue symbol being placed. Now, depending on how far it is from the center, depends on the speed of the dial. Sometimes it'll go really fast, sometimes it'll go really slow. Usually it goes really fast by the time you get to the center. Keep that in mind. Once this step is done, you're going to feel the ground shake a lot, and then you can move on to the next step. Oh boy, that just leaves us with the raw step, doesn't it? Okay, for the raw perk step, it is the hardest step in the entire Easter egg. To start this step, we need to make sure we put Ra's Unk in his hand that's outreached. Once it's outreached, he's going to outreach his other hand. For his other hand, we need to put the hand of Homera in that hand, and the raw perk is going to start drilling a hole into the wall on the other side of the bathhouse. The issue is that there are going to be shield Spartoid that come in to try to deter the beam. If you don't kill the Spartoid in time, the step will fail. No joke. So what I like to do is I like to place the Pegasus Strike outside and use Undead Man Walking to slow down everything. There is a programmed Blightfather to spawn in during this, so you gotta keep your eye on like the Spartoid and the Blightfather. This is why Undead Man Walking is a good co-op strategy. But what's the solo strategy, you may ask? Well, Jolts, I'm gonna call on you, my friend.
There is a way to cheese it every single time. To do it, you first need to give Ra the hand of Homera. As soon as you do give it to him, do not kill any Spartoid or the skeletons, because if you do, then this won't work. Let the step fail, then walk all the zombies up with you, all the way up to the Homera shrine, and pick back up the hand. Now walk back to Ra with the zombies, ensuring that no zombies despawn. Once you get to around this doorway, run and give Ra the hand, and run back to this area as quickly as possible. If done right, the only Spartoid that'll be alive are the ones that are currently chasing you. So as long as you don't kill any Spartoid or get too close to Ra, then you could just train them around the map for the next minute until you beat the step.
That is exactly what we're going to do. So in this case, I had tried this Undead Man Walking strategy 4 times, and I tried his strategy twice. His strategy worked both times for me. We need to have the Spartoid fail, run away to get the hand back, and then once we have the hand back, go back to the perk statue and keep the Spartoid away from there. I would recommend training in the area in the market, not the bathhouse. First game I did this, you see I was in the market. I had a clear vision of the perk drilling the wall, so it was perfectly fine. And the second time I did it in the bathhouse, but I ended up getting a Blightfather and a Giganese at the same time, but it still worked. So just do what Jolt said, and it'll be perfect every time. But don't disregard the co-op strategy. In co-op, if you guys are struggling, just put down a Pegasus Strike, use an Undead Man Walking, and it'll work just fine for you guys. Once all of this tomfoolery is done or whatnot, you need to go back to the wall that was being drilled by the Raw perk and pick up Raw's staff. Then you need to give Raw's staff back to Raw, and he's going to unleash the second mirror of the split road. Now, every player in the game will need an upgraded hand for the next step. Hands down, the next step is the hardest to understand, but the best step in the entire Easter egg. It is called the Hit Your Marks step. For the next step, we need to take our redeemed hands to the amphitheater, and we're going to see these spotlights. These spotlights are color coordinated to our character's hand. So for instance, in the game I'm showing right now, I had the hand of Oranos, so my light was blue. For this step, you are writing a play. But depending on how many players are in the game, depends on what spotlights are going to show. If you see your light, you go to your light. Plain and simple. If you do not see your light on stage, do not go on stage. Plain and simple. There are 2 types of attack for the hand, so there are 2 types of attack for the zombies in this step. If you see any zombies that appear on the floor with you, you need to use the charge shot you learned to get the redeemed hands. If you see any zombies that are in the stands and not on the floor with you, you need to use the single shot. They will always be in groups of 3. Make sure to aim for the middle one. Because this step is so hard to understand at times, I'm going to showcase my good old friend, the sketchbook here. What we have here is a picture of the entire amphitheater. The reason I have this right now is to showcase how this step works. On this diagram, I have color-coded the zombie patterns for the charge shot and the zombies in the stands. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. Rule number 1 about this step. Take a look at where you're standing in comparison to the center podium. If you're on the left side of the podium and you get zombies that are in the stands, they will always be on the left. If your light spawns in on the right side of the podium, then your zombies that are in the stands will always be on the right. Rule number 2, do not be afraid to move. You don't have to stay in one spot for this step to work. For example of Hand of Gaia, if you look at the diagram here, you see that the charge shot goes in the form of an X. It could be either one way or another way. It is random every time it happens. And let's say you are spawning over here, but then the line goes like this. You're going to have to move to get that line, right? So don't be afraid to move. Rule number 3, your zombies will not kill other zombies. Let me repeat that. Your zombies will not kill other zombies. So if you use your Hand of Gaia to shoot a line this way, and then you see the zombies of Ordos are all on a line here, the line will not kill the zombies that are going to be on the floor here. Plain and simple. Rule 4. Do not worry about ammo in this step. Every time you're running low on ammo, like below 10 bullets, the game will give you 10 bullets by pure programming. So using a max ammo elixir at this time is not going to be worth the hassle. Now for each charge shot, it's different for every hand. For the Hand of Gaia, you already know, it's in the X formation. For the Hand of Charon, there are going to be 2 groups of zombies that spawn in. It's 1 per time, it's random every time. It can be either here in front of where the teleport is, or here in front of where you guys start. For the Hand of Oranos, it's going to be every zombie around the base of the stairs that lead into the amphitheater, or the seats. And as for the Hand of Hemera, it's going to be a rush of zombies from either side. It can be the left or the right. But if you hear an army of zombies running towards you, use a charge shot on whatever side you hear it on, and then you'll be just fine. And then lastly, how many times do you have to do this? For each time, it's random what attack you're going to get. It goes in pairs of 3, 5, and 7. So for set 1, you have to do it 3 times, whether it be a charge shot or a single shot. For the second time, it's going to be charge shot or single shot 5 times in a row. For the third time, it's going to be single shot or charge shot 7 times in a row. Believe me, this is not easy to learn just by speaking. It's more of something to learn by experience. But once you get it down, it's really fun to do and really easy to do. It takes a lot of coordination. So I would practice this with other players before actually completing it. You can try this step multiple times in a row. I think it's about 6 to 7 before you have to flip around. When you fail and the spotlights don't show up anymore, you have to flip around. Once that is done, for all 15 times, all 15 times, the screen will flash white. You get a max ammo, then a ton of bonus points for your performance. A ton. I think it's like 3,000 points for your performance. Once that is done, we need to go into the other half of the map and go to the right of where Pegasus was shot down. You're going to see this wall, and this wall has a ton of symbols on it. What we need to do is shoot 6 symbols in a row to spell out the word Poseidon in the Chaos Story language. This is the word shown at the beginning of the intro cutscene to Ancient Evil on Solo. The way I like to describe it is simple. Start with 14, which is the first one, then go up 2. You gotta see this symbol here. Then go across the way till you're about 1 block up from the 14 all the way over to the right. You're gonna see this symbol I'm shooting. Then go down 1 and over 1 to get this symbol. Then go all the way over to here to be right about here for this symbol. And there. It is a perfect, what is the word? What is the shape? Diamond? We're gonna go with diamond. It's a perfect diamond. But once all 6 symbols are shot in that order with the perfect diamond, so to speak, you need Bruno and Shaw. Those 2 characters, whoever's playing those 2 characters, need to go to this door. And both games I was playing as Bruno. I'm going to skip this cutscene just in case you guys don't want any spoilers, but once we're done with this step, you need to have the Pegasus Strike now. For the Pegasus Strike, there are 3 parts, each of them have 3 spawns. For the first part, it's going to be the pliers, or the blacksmith tongs, whatever you want to call them. The first spot's on the left, to the left of the vapor, and the right of the barricade. You're going to see it attached to this rock. For the second one, as soon as you land from being shot down by Perseus, on the right side, you're going to see the Spitfire, Wallbite, and the wall. It's going to be sitting on that rock there, right in between the 2. And for the last one, go down the stairs a little bit towards the Python Pass. You're going to notice this flaming pot. The tongs will be on the edge of the pot. Now we're going to go on to the hammer. The blacksmith hammer is on Python Pass. The first one's going to be right behind the bone. You're going to see it here. The second one's a little down the ways towards the birdcage. You're going to see it here, like halfway down the passage on the left side. As for the last spawn, it's going to be right here behind this rock, like at the very end of the snake. Now we're going to go over to the anvil. For the anvil, the first spawn is going to be right up against this concrete pillar close to the mystery box. For the second spawn, you're going to go into the forge itself. It's going to be on the rock at the main entrance to the forge from the little passageway. And the last one, you need to go all the way down to the eagle cage, and across from the Koshka, you're going to see the third spawn on this rock here. This is the furthest one away from everything else. Once you have all three, this can be built within the forge. If you crafted it earlier and traded it for something else like the homunculus like I did in my game, you will have to get it out of the mystery box. And that can take a while, because look, I did it like round, what was it, 18? 17? I can't remember. But then I got it back at round 24. It's just stupid. Once we have this, you need to go up to where we were shot down by Perseus in the beginning of the match. You're going to see this Pegasus symbol. You need to place the Pegasus strike right on the symbol. Now, when you do this, your Pegasus strike will be replenished. Don't worry, you'll have another one. But what's going to happen is Pegasus is going to lift up the crossbow from the ground and rise it up to right about here. When this happens, we need to take the hand of Ornos and shoot the hand up all the way across until it's in this position, and then the crank reels itself in for a shot. Now, for the last part, you might be wondering, how do we shoot this crossbow if it's not shooting itself? I am going to tell you that the game gave us a hint, believe it or not. As I brought it up before, freaking Mainframe Entertainment made a movie about Hot Wheels, and they gave us the quote, "Wisdom is a circle. What you receive, you must give back." So we received the Eternal Flame, and now it's up to us to use the Eternal Flame once again. In this case, the oil slicks we meleeed earlier with the Eternal Flame have our clue. One symbol you're going to see here is showcasing the crossbow. Another symbol here is going to be a lyre to represent Olympus. And then the last one here is the Temple of Apollo. This symbol can be found right behind the statuette of Apollo in the temple. This is saying that we need to use the Eternal Flame from Apollo to shoot the crossbow to open up Olympus. The other clue is that on the statue, you're going to see all this like green venom oozing on top of the like egg, if you will, that's behind Pack-a-Punch. That tells us we need the Venom Trap. So, the Eternal Flame plus Venom Trap plus crossbow. That is the step in question. Make sure you have a full shield, because the shield health deteriorates when you have the Eternal Flame on it. So melee the Eternal Flame once again, run all the way down to the Still of the Athenians. The fast travel in the Still of the Athenians takes you right to Python Pass. Once you're in there, take a right and activate the Acid Trap. Now, when you have Victorious Tortoise out, you will not take damage when running through the Acid Trap with the shield. But once you have the Acid Tip with the Eternal Flame on the shield spear, run all the way up to the crossbow and melee the back coils, and then the crossbow will shoot at the head of Medusa right above Pack-a-Punch, and then you'll be able to enter boss fight. Now for boss fight, I would recommend grabbing the Helios Salvo. You don't need to fully pack it. You don't. You just need to pack it twice. Maybe even once if you really wanted to. But I would grab all those weapons, and for a hand, I would recommend taking the Hand of Charon. The hands don't do as much damage as you think they would. The point of this boss fight is to do damage output. Also, I recommend having your specialist weapon charged. Also, when doing this entirely, I did forget to mention, when running the Scepter of Ra, try to keep it at a minimal level. If you guys aren't familiar, there is a spam trick with the Scepter of Ra. If you hit both the aiming button and the fire button for normal guns at the same time while using the Scepter, you can spam the fuck out of that thing in order to get better damage output. This goes away the moment you get the level 3, because level 3 you have to hit those buttons to place the dome. Keep that in mind. That's what makes this so strong in this map. When we're in the boss fight, the purpose of the boss fight is simple. Perseus will turn Pegasus. We need to destroy Pegasus before getting the Perseus. Great boss fight. Great boss fight idea, I should say. This is my gripe with this Easter egg. It's just the boss fight itself, because the execution is poor. It is very poor. When you start the match, you're going to be spawned in with a Giganees. The Giganees are very easy to kill. Just kill them all in co-op, and then you can start shooting down Pegasus. Pegasus has a health cap before falling down to you. You need to shoot him out of the sky in order to get him to fall down to you. The problem is, he has a very, very random pathing for when he flies over. This is what I don't like about it at all. If it was a same old path where you can just follow him and shoot him down easier, I'd say it's a really good fight. It makes it a lot more consistent, but it's very inconsistent. It can take somewhere from 10 minutes to 40 if you're very unlucky. That's also where the Hellion Salvo does come in clutch. Because of that lock-on ability with lock-on missiles, you can shoot him in 3 shots and Pegasus is down. No joke. Now, let's talk about what happens when he's down. When he's down, you're going to see him glow in orange. This is the same thing we saw with the bird cages that we need to break open for Pack Punch. To break those open, it's simple. You got to use your specialist weapon. So having that level 2 or level 1 ability from the Scepter of Ra to spam the hell out of this Pegasus is going to help you out a lot. This is why Time Slip is important in the modifier, because of the increased rate of charge for the specialist ability, and also having Arsenal Accelerator. Now, if you're wondering, how can I charge my specialist if I don't have Arsenal Accelerator or Time Slip in a modifier? It's a high-risk, high-reward option. You're going to see Perseus fire fireballs at you all throughout the match. Yes, they hurt you, but they charge your specialist rate at an exceeding rate. Just be careful, because you can take damage. This is why I think the execution is poor. If there was a separate way to get the specialist weapon back, I would be a-okay with that. Or if the boss fight went a little different than having a random pathing of Pegasus and waiting for him to come down and attacking with a specialist that charges very poor. You see what I mean? There's so many problems with the execution that make it so bad, but everything else about this map is so good. I'm going to stop there. Because when Pegasus is like getting to low health per se in terms of game standards, Perseus will start destroying islands, limiting your space. So you have left island, middle island, and the island that you spawn in. They will go away in that order. Well, once you're going to hear this quote,
Worthless horse!
you will now be able to fight Perseus, because he's going to gain all power and get really cocky. But we have to take him down the same way. Damage him, make sure we have our specialist, and then attack him. Once you have finally defeated Perseus by meleeing to death, you're going to see him like try to move, but he won't move. Music will start playing, and then you'll be invincible to any fire or any attack. Everything will just stop moving. When Perseus disappears, you can pick up the Oracle's key, and you have officially completed the Easter egg. Thank you for watching, and peace out.
Now rotting here. But now to free Alistair.